What's in it for you, Ramrod?
What's in it for me? Why do
I mean, you don't get to play. You don't get to get off. I think I might know the answer.
I don't get to get off. I get off.
You do?
Sure, of course.
What gets you off about this?
It working right. The music melding together, fitting together. The musicians playing and not arguing while they're playing. I mean, it only takes one guy to go thump or to chunk and say, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I'm not doing it wrong, but I'm making sure nothing goes any further than me, right?
I've heard that thing happen.
And any one guy can stop it from going.
What are you able to do to keep that from happening? To make
keep
people...
that from happening? Keep people happy. Lend my consciousness to it. I have. I know that I can make the music bad if I want, just by thinking. I've done it to see if it's true. But then I've been there listening and lending my consciousness to it for 15 years or so, and after a while it's undeniable. If for that long, after a while you realize that it does make a difference whether you're sitting there listening to it or not. There are times when I've left the stage because I felt that my consciousness was keeping it from happening.
You gotta have faith in the guy.
Yeah,
that's the thing. If I didn't
really
have a fundamental faith in Steve, he would never be in the position that he's in. You know, of responsibility in relation to me and my stuff. Because it's important to me. It can drive me crazy. You know what I mean? It can also make me real happy. I mean, it's a place of real importance. But it's also important to me to that the human level be cool too. You know what I mean? It's like I would rather make allowances and work on the efficiency of my own stuff to make it so that there isn't so much to go wrong, because it's important for me to have somebody who's a cool person doing it. You know, that counts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's why I don't want a mindless automaton who's just a fucking technical expert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That isn't what I want. I want somebody who's a real person.
You live in life with this.
Yeah, and because there's more to life, and there's more to rock and roll, and there's more to our jobs than just the level of our specific work. You know what I mean? There's more to it, because there's times when Parish ends up talking to a bunch of deadheads. You know what I mean? And so sometimes he has to be a guy like that, like a diplomat. You know, sometimes he finds himself in the role of a security guy or something. You know what I mean? He's got just the way of life means that he has to wear more than one hat.
You got to do all kinds of things.
There's all kinds of things. So all of those things require somebody who has some sense of a higher vision. You know, that like what we're going after or what we're doing here is like higher, really.
Yeah.
There's more to it, you know. And it not everybody is capable of having that kind of vision, you know, and rock and roll doesn't encourage that, really, you know.
No,
and the whole roadie thing and all that doesn't particularly encourage that, you know. And, you know, so it's one of those things that's built into our scene because we want more, you know, we want more to be there.
One time this guy called Jerry and he told him, he said, I want to be on the crew, you know. This is really a funny story. This happened in November '71. We were there with this Howard Wales show. It was just me and Jerry were back there and a few other. And this guy called Jerry and he said, hey, I want to be on the crew and I think I'm right, you know. And the guy, so Jerry said, well, call Parish when he's in this room. He can give you an idea, you know. And so I started trying to explain to the guy. I said, well, man, you know, I didn't just hang up on him or laugh it off or anything. I said, man, it's this strange thing. I can't even explain it to you. You know, it like started, but we were friends, and then these guys taught me something, and it took, you know, years of just hanging out on one level and a little level like this, you know. And then the guy started crying on the phone. I could hear him, and he was really crying, man, you know. he went, whoa, man, no, come on, I gotta do this. You know, it's the weirdest thing. He said, I said, man, if there was a test, you just failed it. And I just hung up on him, right? So then, about 2 years later, we're in London, man. We're in London, right? And I remember it was the end of the show, and the band had left. We're at this place, Wembley Pool, right? And this guy comes bounding up the steps, man, and he says, Parish, it's me, man. Remember me? I'm the guy. There's this totally, you know, happy idiot telling me, I'm the guy that called you, remember? And I cried on the phone and everything. And I said, great, you know, well, glad you're here, man, but get out of the way. We're busy. I mean, the guy just was so I mean, he had so little idea. He was standing right there, you know, we're lifting stuff, packing it into cases, you know. Totally at the peak of our thing, man. It would be like a guy walking out and talking to you when you're on stage or something.
Yeah, right.
Walking out there and saying,
remember that guy? There was a guy.
Yeah, a lot of guys. So this guy then, we ended up, I mean, he took it the whole route of being a complete idiot, you know, where he got in the way as so bad he could. I don't think, we've never seen him again.
Real fortunate to have something so trying and rewarding to
you know to. It's not a matter of fortune. It is fortunate. It's a fortune that we're able to be that we're successful at it. That's fortunate. But
what I mean is, like, as a life experience, no, I don't think anybody could choose.
Sure, you could.
Could you?
Sure, you could.
More
we
interesting,
did.
more challenging.
You could choose something as interesting, as challenging. It's just by saying that I just am not going to go for any bullshit. And as long as I'm here at this point, and as long as we've won this much territory, let's go on and be as uncompromising as we've been so far. You know what I mean? And if it ever lets us down, fuck it, man. We had a good ride, and you know, it's back to the gas station. You know what I mean? It's like you just keep upping the ante, man. That's the only way you do it. You keep parlaying what you got, because the whole thing is a dream when you come right down to it. You know, and all of us had put in our time.
Stop anyway.
Yeah, nothing. You know, I mean, the worst that happens is you end up back where you were, and back where we were was something that we could all handle anyway. So it's not no great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So since you're out there in like a dreamland to begin with, the thing to do is to keep going for it, pushing back. I feel compelled, like it's a responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, just because events in my life suggested to me that it was maybe going to be my responsibility to keep pushing it back. When I was in that accident, man, that really changed a lot of my life back in '60 with Alan, an automobile accident, and a guy who was part of our scene then, our social scene then, this guy, Paul Spiegel, who was a painter. And he was really the most talented person in our scene. And he got killed in this accident, you know, and for me it was crushing. It really crushed me. But I had this feeling like my life had been spared to do something. You know, I felt like I had to live somebody else's life for them. Oh. You know, a little of that energy. But I felt like whatever, it's important to not take any bullshit. You know, to do it as to either go whole hog or not go at all, you know. Yeah. So as soon as things started happening, you know, I mean, as soon as the first lucky little thing started happening, you know, as I felt like, well, man, we're duty bound to push this as far as we can push it, you know. Yeah. If this situation says be outrageous, be as outrageous as you can possibly be, let's go for it, you know. Because what else do we have? You know, we had nothing else, and we'd all paid some version of those kind of dues, and I believe that anybody who
in the way we're all misfits.
I believe that anybody who wants to can do it. You know what I mean? Just because who are we to have been able to do it? We're not somebody special. You know, we're just regular people. But you know, and so if we can do it, any fucking buddy can do it, man. You know what I mean? That's what my feeling is. Yeah, and if you do it with your heart, you know, and if you go at it with people who you genuinely get off on, you know, the people who you dig, you know. Yeah.